All of us have had bad things said about us, done to us, happen to us. And at that moment, we were a victim. But if you remain in a victim status, you will not progress and become successful in any area of your life. Your parenting, your marriage, your career, your spiritual walk, your physical condition, or your wealth building, your career, any of it. Anything you do, you have to decide, I am not a victim of what happened. I love this C.S. Lewis quote. It's great. You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. We see people and admire people our whole lives that have overcome something. The overcomers are always the heroes in the story, aren't they? And in real life, we just look at them and say, wow, you're impressive. Look at where you started and what you have overcome. Look at what you were a victim of but didn't remain a victim. A victim mentality gives you an excuse to not win. You don't understand. You've never been like me and only lived on ... Well, maybe not. I've lived on nothing. Worst year of my life, I made $6,000 one year. Boy, that sucked. I was a victim of the tax law change under the Reagan administration. So did Ronald Reagan ruin my life? Nope. Did Congress ruin my life? Did the IRS ruin my life? Did banks ruin my life? I went bankrupt because of all of them and moves that they made and moves that I made that put me in the firing line. So when those idiots all pulled the trigger, I got shot. But I was stepping in front of bullets, so I was asking for it. I didn't know any better. I was dumb, ignorant. That's 30 years ago, so am I a victim or not? Mike Todd says, I've never been poor. I've only been broke. Poor is a state of mind. Sometimes the biggest obstacle those of us who started with nothing have is between our ears, that we believed. As Henry Ford used to say, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I heard my whole life growing up, well, the little man just can't get ahead. You don't understand, Dave. The little man, the game is rigged. You have to have somebody to do it for you because you don't have a chance of doing it yourself. I didn't hear that in my family, but I heard it with people I knew. My family always told us we could do anything, as if we had some kind of superpower. And it turns out the superpower is belief. Believing that you can. Well, nobody in my family ever went to college, so go to college. Nobody in my family was ever a millionaire, so go be a millionaire. Nobody in my family ... so what? Go be the first one. Might be time to change your bunch. Your bunch might need changing. They may be saying about this old man's bunch someday, but we changed. We decided we're not borrowing money anymore. We made the decision we're not living like this anymore. We made the decision that that's not how things work. So you control the controllables. You can't control what other people say. You can't control what other people do. You can only control what you do. But the interesting thing is what you do has more to do with you winning or losing than what everybody else put together does. What happens in your house is a whole lot more important than the White House. It's amazing to me just watching social media. Some of you people have just lost your minds out there. We were laughing today that in the, you post a tweet or you post something on Instagram, somewhere around the fifth or sixth comment, someone says, yeah, but Trump. Yeah, but Trump. It hasn't got anything to do with Trump. It's just they want to start an argument. Everybody wants to fight. And if you just say, yeah, but Trump, you can start an argument. Pro-Trump versus anti-Trump or whatever. And I got news for you. He has not sent me any money. Nor am I sitting up nights waiting for him to send me any money. Barack Obama didn't send me any money. George W. didn't send me any money. And I'll go on down the list. The Clintons certainly didn't send me any money. They didn't. The best possible thing they could have done, and some of them did it and some of them didn't, was allowing me to keep some of my money. That, by the way, was my money. It wasn't yours. By changing the tax law and allowing me to keep something I earned rather than taking it from me against my will. That's the most a political candidate can ever offer, because they're not sending you any money. They're not sending you any money. What happens in their house is not that important. If some of you spend as much time and energy focusing on your own success, focusing on the success of your family, focusing on the success of your career, as you focus on your sports team and on politics, you'd be wildly successful. The amount of brain power, knowledge, passion, and energy that some of you spend on your sports teams and on politics, arguing about Trump one way or the other, arguing about these crazy congressmen that are socialists and all this stuff, arguing about all this stuff one way or the other, if you spent all that time and energy on you and your success, your family's success, you'd be wildly successful. Isn't that amazing? I meet people who have more sports trivia stored in their brain. It's so impressive how much brain power they have, but they cannot tell you the balance in their 401k. They can't even spell 401k. They don't have their term life insurance in place. They don't have their wills done. They haven't been on a budget, and they're deeply in debt. But they can tell you every stinking thing about a sports team. See, and I'm not against sports, and if you're a sports trivia person, that's just fine. But make sure you're successful before you spend all your time admiring other people's success. Make sure that your career, make sure you're reading a book that causes you to win, that causes you to be a better dad, that causes you to be a better husband, that causes you to be better at your work. Make sure you're doing that stuff before you worship other people's success. Spend your energy and your time on that. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. I love that. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.